Hello there. What is going on, everybody? Today we are joined by the 5th Trooper Zone, Jay Shelanskey. How you doing, Jay?
Hey everybody, I'm doing great, Tim. It's really good to see you, man.
Good
It's
to
been
see
a
you too.
while.
It has been a while, and you have something pretty cool to talk about today, and we're gonna get to that in just a minute. But for those of you who because it has been a while since we've done any kind of collaboration and stuff, why don't you just kind of refresh everybody's memory on what it is you are, and tell us a little bit about the 5th Trooper and what you guys have been up to.
Yeah, so the Fifth Trooper is we started as a content network focused on Legion. So if you've heard of the Notorious Scoundrels podcast, they're actually part of the Fifth Trooper network. And then we have the Fifth Trooper podcast, which is we're doing a beginner's guide to Legion on there right now. And then we also do a ton of custom product for Legion and other tabletop games like mats and sidebars for Legion and order tokens for Legion and a bunch of laser cut stuff as well. So really both just content and product for Legion. That's our big goal.
Very cool. And so if you guys haven't already checked them out, we'll have a link in the description below so you can head over to thefifthtrooper.com. It's not just Fifth Trooper because that'll take you somewhere
Yeah.
else. It's the. You got to
Yeah.
put the in there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah, and you guys have been doing this for a long time. Back when
Yeah.
but back before droids, when you didn't have to think about like the seventh trooper, right? Yeah.
That's exactly right. Yeah, so the name comes from adding back when we started, I think Leia and Veers just came out for
Mm-hmm.
Legion.
Oh
That
yeah.
was the first kind of expansion, and yeah, you would add an extra stormtrooper or an extra
Yep.
rebel trooper. The DLTs and the HH-12, we were focusing on it, but you would sometimes just add an extra trooper, and so um, we named ourselves the Fifth Trooper.
Yeah, no,
So
and it still works. I mean, it's still relevant. It is, but that's just like a good idea of how long you guys have been making
yeah,
content for this game, and that is still thriving. But
yeah,
it's been pretty much it's been a slow year and a half for new content. Really, I mean,
it has. Yeah, I mean, I think we all know why, right?
yeah, I
And
mean,
so it's a global problem.
it is.
But and that's kind of what spawned what we're about to talk about. Really,
Yeah,
was this dip
hence
that
the
we were
segue. There we
experiencing.
go. Right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Uh,
Was this dip that everyone felt, right? Like us as content creators, Crabbok, I'm
oh,
sure you and I
dude,
know we did, where it was just
absolutely.
like, yeah, nothing new's coming out. There's no tournaments. There's no, like, we can kind of guess what the meta is going to be or what people are playing based on what's happening on TTS, but that's never really quite realistic as
It's
to
not.
playing in real
It's
life,
definitely not the same because
Yeah.
I know I want to paint an army, and like if I paint something up that's really really great, I now want to run that unit even if it's crap.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
so but if like my arc troopers, like I had some really terrible arc troopers, so I never wanted to run arc troopers even though they're great. I'm like, no, I'll stick with the phase ones because I like the phase one.
Yeah.
So but I think a lot of people will do that. You want to show off. That's a big part of showing up and playing in person, is like to show off maybe what you've done, or maybe your basing is really good and you want to show that off. Or so
Well, and sometimes, like all the tournaments that even before all this craziness happened, the tournaments I've been to in the past, even the big ones like Adepticon or LVO, there's still at least 30 to 40% of the folks that show up are still like just playing whatever they want to play for fun,
yeah,
even they're at a major tournament, right? And I don't
absolutely.
think that'll ever go away in real life. And there's
I hope it grows to more, because
yeah,
like my whole goal of going to any tournament is like I don't want to play a top. I don't want to go for grand champion. I want to, if I win, I want it to be with something that's like totally off the wall, that's just a blast to play.
yeah.
And it's a long shot, it's a Hail Mary, but you're gonna have fun while doing it. So
And I mean, that's why I've played double heavy for the
yes, that's a
last like
great, and that's a
year
perfect
and a half,
example.
Yeah.
Perfect example. So during this drought, you guys are have kind of taken a big step forward, and you've come out with what we're going to talk about today, and that's Stormtide, an unofficial Legion campaign by the Fifth Trooper.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about Stormtide.
Well, first off, the unofficial's real important.
Yes, no, absolutely.
'Cause we're doing this on our own.
Mhm.
And I just like saying that at the outset because I want everybody to understand that we're still designing this so that it fits very much in the galaxy that Legion is in the world that Legion occupies. But it is kind of our own story and universe inside of that, right? So
Right.
Legion, the units, the rules is all kind of the basis and the rule set that you're going to be using, and you're going to be playing in this story, this narrative story that we've designed.
Hmm.
And so basically, what this is going to be is it's going to be for two players. So you and your buddy can get together, or your son or daughter, or whomever you play with, and you get this box monthly. So I like to it's kind of like Loot Crate or like Hunt a Killer
Hmm.
in that respect,
Right.
where
Right.
the new thing comes out every month. You don't know what's coming. It's going to be a surprise. There's going to be all these missions and crazy stuff going on that drives this narrative campaign story that we're telling.
And that's really fun to have something kind of just show up every month, because I know I have subscribed to like some of the Marvel and Star Wars crates, and then I can Loot Crate also, and my wife does the Hunt a Killer. Like murder mystery has like been her number one thing during COVID for sure, and so she has a whole group of friends and they do all of that stuff, and it's really cool, and it's nice just knowing that, hey, you know what, I got a package coming this month, I got a package coming next month, and it gives you that little thing to look forward to, and during a content drought that we're in right now, AMG just took over for Legion. Who knows how long it's going to be? And I mean, we there's another wave that's out there, but I mean, it hasn't even really been formally teased yet. So
Yeah, and I think, part of this, the idea and what we were just kind of talking about, which is a great kind of connection to this too, is we designed this as well so that maybe units that if you are really competitive, maybe there's a unit you wouldn't take to a tournament just because it's bad and you don't want to take it. Well, we really strive to make those units great in this campaign. And so there's a lot of stuff that we do that plays around with every unit you can think of for Legion. You'll be able to play in this, and I think it'll strive no matter what the unit is.
Well, that's a great thing to do, especially for families that are playing together. So with this campaign now, you're going to be playing like when in one crate. Is this basically for like a one game a month type of setup, or can you replay it?
Yeah, you can absolutely replay it. Every month there's going to be at least 2 games worth of product in there. Okay, so we're providing, and just as an example, like we'll provide all the battlefield cards plus a mission briefing, kind of telling you what you should be doing and how you win or operate in that mission, and then all of that stuff can then be reused afterwards. So if you play the mission and you're playing along with the story, well, then you can take all those battlefield cards or command cards or whatever's in there, maybe some upgrades. That's a little secret. Don't tell the other guys I told you that. But there's going to be some stuff in there that you're going to be able to reuse in a non-competitive setting. So if you have friends over who don't have time to like engage with the story, you could still play all of our battlefield cards, condition, objectives, deployments, all of that stuff normally too.
And you guys also have done things kind of similar to this with the event deck in the past as well, right?
So, this is kind of like the event deck on steroids.
Oh boy.
Basically.
Okay,
yeah.
so if you like the event deck, there's going to be that plus more. Now, one of the things I want to talk about, and you can kind of see it in the image that because you're going to see you're going to get actual physical product. Like this isn't just a PDF, but you're getting a physical box in the mail. You've got custom commanders in here, right?
Yeah, this is really exciting. So part of this deal is that in this first box, basically how we're breaking out these different segments is into quarters. So 3 boxes will focus on a particular element, and this first quarter is going to focus on these commanders. So in the first box you'll get 2 minis. They'll have unit cards, and then there's going to be an RPG element to it as well, where you get to name and come up with all the info for your commander, and then there's skill trees so that you can add more ability. Right here, there's the picture. Where you can add more upgrade slots or abilities, or and there's basically 3 skill trees. One is like to make your commander more of like a Thrawn-like character, you know,
Okay.
like more like thinking about the battlefield.
Yes.
One is more of like an Iden or Cassian type of commander, like adding like sharpshooter and upgrade slots and all this stuff. And then the other one is, you know, I could say it here, a Force user, making your commander a Force user, but we call it powers
Oh,
just to be.
he's like some kind of space wizard, you know?
Yeah, some kind
Yeah.
of space wizard
Okay.
with a sword made of light.
Oh, I've heard of those. Yes, yeah.
But you can see on this picture, so you get to name, age, height, their homeworld, their faction. Like you get to build out a story for your commander and then grow them
Okay.
over time.
So let me ask you this question. So let's say somebody picks this up and they're going to be playing with maybe a brother or a friend or family member, and but what if they're not into like Empire versus Rebels? Or can you use these commanders with different factions?
Yeah.
Oh,
So
well, there you go.
Their faction,
Independent of the
independent.
specific. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And basically, as far as we're concerned, we don't even care if you use the 4 factions that are available. So if you have homebrew, like we've seen a lot of the like First Order
Right.
homebrew out there and stuff, use that. That's
Okay.
all. That's fine. Yeah. So we encourage that. Like whatever you want to use, the whole. I like to say that this is kind of like the beer and pizza
Yeah, absolutely.
version. Like I'm gonna sit down, we have a beer and a slice with my buddy, and we're just gonna play, right?
Okay.
And so we use the core rules of Legion as a guiding principle of like how to build armies and the rule set and the keywords and all that. But other than that, use whatever you want.
Oh, that's a great idea.
We're very
Yeah.
encouraging of that.
Well, no, that's really cool, and it looks like there's some maybe some other tokens that you're gonna have. You're gonna have your custom commander tokens that are in there. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So there's two commanders and there's 2 ships basically. So we've designed custom ships that your commanders are going to be on as they enter the story of Stormtide. And so you can see that little icon to the left of the Special Forces icon
Okay.
is one of the ship insignias. And so you're in this first box, you're actually going to get a set of order tokens as well that go along with your commander and their ship.
Oh, that's very nice. That's very nice. And we talked a little bit about command cards too, because I think we have a little sneak peek of one of the command cards that we might be able to take a look at here. So I'm gonna blow this up a little bit so people at home can read it a little clearer. But
and so the deal with the command cards, this is really neat. So they're not tied to the commander. Once you pick a commander, we have 3 what we're calling division types of what are all the units that are on your ship when you like entered into the story. And so you build out a division out of these 3, and one of them, which this is one of the command cards from, is an armored division, which is very focused on bringing heavy armored units, right?
Okay.
And so when you pick a division, you get 3 command cards that go along with that division. So in reality, you get about 18 command cards or so in this first box. So there should be enough for both you and your friend to pick multiple divisions, and play it a couple of times.
So you're going to be able to actually adjust your build, based between games, and like kind of, and your commander's going to level up. So you're going to be adjusting but growing your forces, right?
So we recommend that if you're going to get Stormtide, you're going to want at least 1,200 points of Legion, product with units and upgrades and all combined. And then when we have these missions, which are like hidden in these envelopes that you get in this box, that it'll tell you how many points you need to build to compete in that mission.
Okay.
So it may not always be 800. It could be any number. I don't want to give away too much, but it could be any number for the points So when you're putting all your upgrades and your units on this ship, you want to make sure that you're thinking about, what if I could only take 500 points? Like, is this going to be okay?
Right. Okay. And this is also nicer, because larger battles. I just did a Grand Army battle the other day, and it's nice to be having an opportunity to use stuff that maybe you just couldn't fit. Like you talked about double heavies, and if you wanted to, like, oh, you know what, I really want to run this new AAT, but I can't run him with. I also wanted special forces in there and all, and all these other things, and you just can't always fit that in an 800-point build. So so it's nice to have it in a good excuse to be able to, like, to bring out the whole collection.
Yeah. And I'll give you a little tease. So this command card that we're showing here is from like I said, from the armored division
Hmm.
one that you could build out. So some of the special rules for that division in particular is you can have 4 heavy units on your
Oh.
ship. And so like if there's a potential battle,
Hmm.
you could have up to 4 heavies if you wanted.
That sounds really fun, and like
Yeah.
and I've long wanted to do some because I did something a long time ago where we just did like a hero battle where it was just
Mhm.
800 points of just all unique characters, so most pretty much operatives and commanders, and changing the rule set like that, it makes Legion feel like a totally different game.
Yep.
It really does, and I think that's a great thing. It resembled Marvel Crisis Protocol a little bit, but it's great to play a game that maybe is starting to grow a little stale for some people, and to be able to have an opportunity to change it up like this. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, and I think that the situation that we've been in the last couple of years, I refuse to name it because I'm done naming it anymore. It's over. I'm moving past it. But I think what it made us realize was that as we thought about it more and more, we're like, well, what about all these people that don't have the opportunity to travel, or maybe they're not competitive, or maybe
Hmm.
they just want to play with their friend or their brother or their sister or son.
Hmm.
And so the whole point of this was like, hey, I can have my friend over tonight or maybe a couple nights this week, and we could play Legion in a different way that's compelling. And like I said, we use the base of Legion for the rules. We've tweaked some stuff to make it more fun,
Hmm.
but really the focus is to drive the narrative. And the
Right.
idea would be is after each mission, you're like, oh my God, what just happened? Like, I got to know what happens next, and it's just going to keep driving that narrative.
That's no. That sounds like a really good time, and that one that can last you. So, is there any ideas on how long it might you think it will take a lot of people to complete a campaign, or is that kind of be more open ended at this point, or is that
Yeah,
is
I
that a
think
little
it's
too spoilery? I don't want to
no,
give too
no.
much
I,
away.
I, I think we have thoughts of how long we want the campaign to last.
Hmm.
Like we definitely have months and months and months of content. I
Hmm.
can promise you that. And I think one monthly box you could probably. So I've played through a number of them, and you could most likely do it in like a night with your buddy. So
Okay.
it could for sure if he comes over or she comes over on a Friday night. You guys could probably get through at least the first mission, if not both missions,
Okay.
within a night.
Yeah, or if you've got a gaming weekend planned or whatever,
Yeah,
and you want to just power through, a like 3 months worth of boxes,
yeah,
and
you could
and
do that.
yeah. So even if you can't play this month, maybe you want to still sign up. You'll know that you'll have them keep coming. You won't miss out on any, and and then when you do have that, maybe that convention, that
Yep.
that you're like, hey, you know what? Let's now meet up. Let's finally hammer out all of these missions, and keep notes in between them, and try and get it
Yeah,
all done.
and I think if you've played enough 800 point, battles with your friend, you based on the points, you'll understand how long that mission's going to last, right?
Sure.
So you can open up the mission and be like, "Oh, this is X points. Okay, this is definitely going to be like 2 hours or,
Right.
this is a lower point, so this may only take us like an hour and 15 or something." It's so it varies depending on the mission
Or
for
in my
sure.
cases, if you're drinking, then it's going to extend it by at least an hour because
Yeah,
yeah, because you're going to get
but that's
lost
the,
catching
that's the
up and
fun part too, though, right?
yeah,
Like
I agree.
ideally, I mean, you guys have been seeing all the art. The art and the story were a huge focus
Hmm.
for us on this, and we've put a ton of time and effort into all of that and making you feel like you're part of this new galaxy and world that we're creating, and that you really feel compelled to continue to see what's going to happen next, right?
Right. Well, that's no. It sounds really exciting. So where can people check out, and when does this actually start? So let's direct the people on where, if they want to check this out, where they can go.
Yeah. So if you go to stormtide.thefifthtrooper.com, and you can see Stormtide, it'll be one word in the URL, but stormtide.thefifthtrooper.com, that's where all this is going to happen. And then Friday, the 11th, is when we're going to launch our pre-sales. And so what we're looking to do is start pre-orders this Friday. You'll get the product starting in August because we need to see how many people are going to
Of
get
course.
this. So we want to make sure we can do everything. And I will say, the more people that do this, the better quality stuff we can invest in, because that's just how things work.
That's the way that
Yeah,
everything works, right?
right. And that's, if you've done a Kickstarter, that's how it works for them too, right? The more people that do it, the more they give you. And so we're the same thing, and we'll be doing pre-orders, and then yeah, launching in August.
No, that sounds great. And so that's another thing that I think is a pretty good opportunity too. August is approaching holiday season too. So even if you're not sure if it's right for you, if you've got a friend or a family member, so like husbands and stuff, like tell your wives, or vice versa, like tell your family members, hey, you know what, if you were looking for a holiday gift or anniversary or whatever, sign me up for this. Maybe you can even keep them like in a little box and hide them in the attic, and then maybe December rolls around, hey, I got 3 packages for you.
Yeah, ideally by December they should have like 4 or 5, right? And so they would have plenty of time to play and go through it. It's going to be, I've played a couple, we ran the testing and stuff, and it's funny. So I do a majority of the art for it, and I've been like reading the cards and looking at stuff just to do the art for it, but not like really comprehending the game itself. And so Mike, who's one of the Notorious Scoundrels hosts, he came over a couple weeks ago, and we played through like the first 3 or 4 missions, and by like the second one, I was fully like enthralled in the story, going, no, Mike, we gotta play the next one. Like we gotta play this next one, man. Like
yeah. No, it's a really cool feeling when you can't wait to do that, and normally if you play Legion like just as is, the best you can really kind of hope for is that, like, hey, you know what, I can't believe I screwed up, and I can't let you beat me that bad. I need revenge, But now you have, you're adding a whole different dimension to it.
Well, and the other thing we're adding, just really quick, that I really have been wanting to talk about, is how much you, the player at home, can actually affect the story. Not only in your game, so with the skill tree and how the missions and stuff operate, we fully believe that no armies, commanders will be the same, right? You'll be able to be completely unique in how you're playing. But then also, when you complete these missions, you'll have the ability to go to our website and submit how your mission went with you and your friend, what your commander's name was, all this stuff, and then that can affect the story moving forward. And we're actually going to like take people's commander names, and maybe they get integrated into the story. Maybe we have a leaderboard on the website that says how people are doing. And so, yeah, we're really excited about that.
And that's just a great way to bring, again, the community all together. Yeah. And no, that sounds like a really awesome, it sounds like a great box, a great way to play. So if you guys are interested, head over to stormtide.thefifthtrooper.com. Again, we'll have a link to both the Fifth Trooper and the Stormtide. Did I get it right?
Yeah.
All right. We'll have links for both of those down in the video description, so be sure to check all of that out. Well, thanks, Jay, for coming on and telling us about this. I mean, honestly, this is, I think, the perfect time for something like this to come out, because it's, the content's at a slowdown right now, and I think people who've been playing for a long time may have gotten spoiled with just, hey, brand new stuff every month. It's always going to be this way, and it's not. For a number of reasons, not just that pandemic thing, but also with the AMG takeover too. It's like it added to, and then the Suez Canal, and and all of this stuff. Right, It was like the trifecta of slowdowns. So,
and we hope that we're doing our part, to keep the community compelled to play, because this is coming from a place of love. I love Legion, and the guys over here that work with me, that we all love Legion, and that's the whole point of us doing this, is we wanted to keep it going and play Legion in a completely different way than how we're playing now, just so we can keep everybody interested and excited for the game.
Well, I think this is going to be well received, and you guys should definitely check it out. Stormtide, get yourself some campaign action going on, and check them out in the links below. I want to thank you so much, Jay, for coming on today, and we will talk to you guys later. And that's going to do it. All right. Thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, have a great day.